If you are a SoFi brother, aka a SoFi shareholder, if you are a SoFi sister, aka SoFi shareholder, you're going to love today's episode. Welcome back once again, everyone. This is another SoFi Watchers video, meaning today's episode is going to be dedicated to primarily SoFi. I'm a raging SoFi bull. Welcome here if you are new. I put out videos on this YouTube channel Monday through Friday. Sometimes I drop bonus content on Saturday. The stock market is a very unpopular place, but if you've been adding to your long-term positions or building new phenomenal future positions, you really can't go wrong, because the last 8 months, the market has really shown that it's very weak. Anything can send this market down. It is so volatile. It's a roller coaster ride. And SoFi is really one of those stocks that I look at, and I'm just so happy that I started buying this stock back in February of 2024. Now, I could have very well walked away with beyond a 300% profit on my private profile back in November of last year, so about 8 months ago. But I'm glad that I have not sold a friggin' SoFi share. In the last 3 months, primarily, I've been adding to SoFi. And I'm a long-term shareholder of SoFi, unlike a lot of other stocks I talk about and also own on this channel. I have a 10-year vision of SoFi, mainly because that's what the management team has very much laid out for us. But here's the thing. If the management team changes course, yesterday I ended up taking a big loss on my public account and also took a loss on my private account, because the stocks I do buy publicly, I also do buy privately as well too. If you own multiple accounts, I'm not a financial advisor, but buying the same stocks on different accounts, it's gonna do you good. Let me just say that, okay? My private account for SoFi, I have an average of $7.41. My public account, I'm gonna show momentarily. Obviously my average is slightly above $15, but still, I mean, shares are shares, and they do add up very much over time. But I took a loss yesterday by selling out of Adobe. And the reason being is because the management team jumped shift. Yeah, you have the CEO that's leaving. You have the CFO that randomly resigned. There's a lot of internal noise. Now with SoFi, we're seeing external noise, not internal noise, okay? It's not like in SoFi we have Darth Vader, and yes, I am wearing my Darth Vader shirt. It's not like in SoFi we have Darth Vader going around chopping people into, you know, the management team basically pretty much killing itself, so to speak. No, we see a lot of external noise, but the moat of SoFi is holding so beautifully, and the castle that SoFi is in, it's very much operating very flawlessly internally. Okay, and that's something to really think about and consider, especially when you're taking a long position like me, or even if you are a trader, and let's say you might want to trade SoFi for the next half of the year, maybe 3 months or whatever. I mean, you take it into consideration that this management team, it's rock and rolling. So a couple things I want to go over for today's video. I'm going to try to keep today's episode below 20 minutes. Yesterday was a long one. If you enjoy my content, definitely smash the like button. Subscribe for more, like I said. I put out videos Monday through Friday. This YouTube channel is still relatively new. Stock market is beyond unpopular right now. My main YouTube channel, NightmareRH, 200,000 plus subscribers. A lot of video game viewers because it's a video gaming channel. People don't want anything to do with the market, and that just tells me to continuously be buying stock, okay? Because when nobody wants anything to do with the market, well, I mean, do I need to say anything more? If it's unpopular to be buying stock, if you are a well-rounded investor, trader, you should be buying stock, okay? It's when everyone wants to be in the market. That is when you gotta, hey, are my positions overvalued? Can I take some profits here? What are really the safe haven stocks, so to speak, or maybe just accumulate cash. That's not a bad thing too. I've done that in the last several years. Okay, so firstly and foremost, welcome once again. I love each and every single one of you that do show up. Unfortunately, tomorrow is my birthday. Good for me, bad for you all. No video tomorrow and Friday, and also Monday. I'm actually going on a little vacation, so I'm going to be gone tomorrow, Friday. And I'll be returning back to my home Monday evening next week. So Tuesday of next week, I'm going to continue to upload videos. So please be aware of that, especially if you're showing up to see my content pretty much on a daily basis. I'm going to start doing live streams on this YouTube channel very soon. Not sure how many people are going to show up and stuff, but I really don't care because even if a handful of people do show up, we're going to have some great conversation. Okay, so SoFi, I want to talk about the news that dropped yesterday because I didn't get a chance to talk about it. I want to go ahead and talk about some economical data. I want to go ahead and talk about interest rate hikes because stuff is changing continuously. And then I want to get to pretty much my public profile and really just talk pretty much how I'm feeling. Okay, so firstly and foremost, news. Please always do your due diligence. I'll go ahead and put the link to SoFi News down below in the description of today's video so you can check it out. I always get the news directly from SoFi's website. Now, sometimes there will be news that SoFi doesn't release. It does happen fairly often, but very much a lot of times on the SoFi's press release site, you will basically find their newest news. And you always have to do your own due diligence. Just because you're watching a YouTube video on this news, definitely go there and just read it for yourself. Oh boy, excuse me. Just to double check that I'm not pretty much yanking your chain and kind of saying something like outrageous here. But let's go ahead and dissect this. So introducing Composer by SoFi, AI-powered investing from idea to execution. Okay, so the fact that SoFi is very much using AI even more into his business model, this is extremely bullish, and this strengthens their moat around their business. What is a moat? If you're a new investor, new trader, you're going to hear that term a lot. It is a Warren Buffett term that has been used all throughout the last decades. Basically, picture a castle, aka a company, and you have a moat that they can lift up the bridge and not let competitors in, and stuff like that. Their castle cannot be penetrated by evil forces, aka other companies. So, does JPM have this capability, the world's largest bank? No. Is JPM a disruptor bank in the banking sector? No. Is JPM allowing you to hold crypto, allowing you to buy stock? The last time I checked, I'm pretty sure they're not, right? So, SoFi is a disruptor in many, many different ways, and that's why I remain bullish, okay? You can make the case that Robinhood is also a disruptor, even though there's a lot of chatter within the community that, and it's all retail chatter, that Robinhood and SoFi is butting heads. But if you look at their business model is very different. Okay, sure, both of them could be seen as being fintechs, but very different target audience they're going after. Okay. So investors have never lacked ideas. The challenge has been tuning these ideas and strategies that can be tested, refined, and executed consistently. Whether an investor believes market volatility will rise, interest rates will fall, or certain technical signals indicate an opportunity to buy or sell. Acting on those views has traditionally required coding skills, multiple software platforms, hours, ongoing portfolio management. Composer by SoFi changes that. Investors can leverage advanced AI to create, test, and automate investment strategies using natural language rather than requiring investors to start with detailed strategy or perfect prompt. Composer guides users through the process, helping them discover, refine, and build investment strategies by step. So basically, pretty much, Composer, it is a acquisition that SoFi has acquired. It's basically a smart tool that you can use to basically build a strategy, okay? My story is very relatively new, I want to say, but at the same time, I mean, as the years, go on, it's not really new. I got into the market in March of 2020 during Rona. 2020, 21, I made a tremendous amount of life-changing money, but realistically, I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really know about fundamental analysis all that much. I didn't know about technical analysis. I just knew to buy the down Rona stocks, and I did amazing. But then again, you could buy anything, and everything was doing amazing, right? 2022, I had to build my own strategy. I had to execute it, make changes, and I took casualties. But I walked away 22 very much profitable. Not as profitable as 2020 and 21. 23 was the bum kicker. And the bum kicker is because I got a little greedy and I didn't stick to my strategy. That's it. I took a 32% loss yesterday on Adobe. If that had been 2022, I probably would have bought more of Adobe, and I would have been down even more because there's nothing really stopping Adobe from very much falling deeper into the hole. So one of the things I did in 2023 that cost me was not to know when to really cut the cord, but just get out, take a loss. And having something AI powered to really guide new people, I think it's really good, but at the same time, it can be bad. So if you follow my content on this channel, I use AI every single day, primarily Google Gemini Pro, and I use AI as a gathering tool, okay? It gathers my information for me so I can make decisions. I don't let AI really make that decision for me. Now, something like this, having AI very much integrated, I think that's amazing, especially for new and young people that are very much looking to build a strategy. But you yourself should always be the one that pretty much like pulls the trigger. But I do very much like this. I'm not very much bashing this. I think this is very much bullish entirely. Design a custom strategy. An investor who believes technology stocks perform in strong markets but wants to move into ETFs during periods of weakness can describe that idea in plain English. Composer will help the investor build, test automated rules. That is amazing. Discover community-built strategies. An investor that feels Miss AI sector rally can search over 2,000 community-built strategies. Find one, focus on AI, semiconductors leader, obviously AMD. In my case, review of how it performed historically and deploy it within seconds. Build a diversified profile. So important. So this is all very bullish here. If you want to continue to read this for yourself, please do so. But I mean, yeah, this is this is utterly amazing, okay? Especially for new investors in the market. If you all want to leave some comments, which I do have a handful of you that do leave comments here and there, tell me your honest opinion. Do you think someone who's been in the market for 6+ years is a new investor? Because I don't consider myself to be a new investor. I believe if you are in this market within the last maybe 2 to 3 years, you're like a new investor. I'm definitely not a newbie, but I'm also definitely not like very like a long, like 10 years plus. I'm gonna get there relatively soon. I'm not gonna lie. Turning 38 tomorrow, so you're talking when I'm 42. Yeah, we'll be in the market for over a decade. But I mean, I will then consider myself to be but I consider myself right now to be a moderately seasoned investor because I can spot bullshit and I can very much spot like just nonsense and understand when there's a lot of hype, when there is not, and when a lot of things are very much overly drawn. So real quick, oil below $70. This is friggin' bullish like crazy. Give me a break. You're talking about oil. We were as high and going back to the beginning of June at like near $100, and now we're down. Like, why isn't SoFi and why isn't the broader market just rallying? And why is software selling off? Palantir and many other companies. Well, this is the reason why this market is a very weak bull market. Very weak bull market. So, the Federal Reserve, you can go ahead and Google this. The Fed Watch, 35 days away. This is the reason why the market thinks there's going to be rate hikes because Kevin Walsh is moving the Fed to be less transparent and get the Fed out of the spotlight. Okay, that's not a bad thing. I got into the market when the Federal Reserve was the spotlight, okay? 2022, the Federal Reserve was the spotlight. If you go back decades, the Federal Reserve is not supposed to be in the spotlight. Okay, do you know what is supposed to drive companies? It's profits. Friggin' profits. CAGRs. Say what you want about Adobe. Adobe is growing 14% year over year. Okay, it's not sexy like SoFi. That's a hyper, scaler, a 30+% growth rates. Same goes for AMD. Same goes for NVIDIA. Same goes for Palantir. But I mean, the company's still growing, and there's so much fears about AI eliminating it, not to mention interest rate hikes. You go to September, like this is just like a laughing stock. You're telling me that in September you're gonna see a half a basis. The betting markets are betting for half a basis point. And understand, if you're new to the market, all this stuff can change in a snap of a fingers. If you've been following my content in the last 8 months, back in December of last year, so 7 months ago, we had a 20% chance of Powell cutting rates in December by a quarter basis point. Powell cut friggin' rates and shocked the market. Yeah, that's right. So this is all bullshit, and it's all scare tactics to get you to sell your stock. Okay, that's what it is. It's a game. Okay, so I don't believe we're going to be seeing rate hikes for two reasons. One, politics are at play here. Obviously, Donald Trump wants rates to be lowered. Kevin Walsh, if you look into the guy, he does have ties to the Trump family. I mean, do I need to say anything more? He believes AI is going to be de-inflationary. So I mean, oil continues to go down. These inflation reports are going to come down as well. Okay. It is going to be a harder long shot position to get interest rate cuts. But I can definitely say that I do not see rate hikes this year. I do not even see rate hikes next year, okay? I see rate cuts next year. Rate cuts at the end of this year, that's debatable. But what in my own personal opinion, I don't believe there's going to be any rate hikes this year. I think it's all scare tactics and it's really noise, okay? But this is what Wall Street, this is what the market, like algos, are very much projecting. Now, SoFi. Okay, so SoFi is pushing very higher. This is the 5-minute chart for SoFi here. The VWAP, very bullish right now. Obviously, we're on the top of the Bollinger Band. The VWAP stands for volume weighted average price, I believe. Don't quote me on that. You can Google that. So basically, the VWAP is essentially this middle green line here. And you have the upper Bollinger Band and you have the lower Bollinger Band. They're averages. So right now, it is 11:19 a.m. We're seeing strength of SoFi. Where is this strength coming from? Well, yesterday's news was extremely friggin' bullish. Oil itself is falling below $70. So oil plus news, extremely bullish. Pain Pal is definitely doing some heavy lifting here, right? Okay, where does SoFi go from here? Well, I personally believe that if oil is going to be below $85, which the Federal Reserve has stated that anything below 85 bucks is not going to drive up inflation. Yeah, this video is over 20 minutes. Oh, boo-hoo. Anthony Noto has also stated below $80 is bullish. We are friggin' below $70 right now on oil. What is going on, people? SoFi should very well be back in the 20s. And what is happening with SoFi is a re-evaluation of the stock. The stock evaluation is changing. So SoFi, realistically, in my opinion, as long as oil remains lower, it's going to be over 20 bucks very soon. It's going to be probably between 21 to really realistically maybe 22. It's returning very much to before earnings, where we basically pretty much sold off probably around February. So pretty much high mid-19s to maybe like 20s. $20 is going to be a psychological level. But if we can get above 20 bucks, really on, and this is the weekly chart. I really love the weekly chart. The daily chart is good too, but if you're a long-term investor, zoom out even farther. Obviously, the daily chart, we very much need to reclaim the 200-day moving average. Every one of these candles represents one day. So obviously, the daily chart, we got some work to do. But if you are even long-term investor like me, using the weekly chart is definitely good as well. Also, getting back above the 50-day moving average on the weekly chart, 22 bucks, that would be huge, okay? Very, very huge. So, I mean, yeah, there's nothing stopping SoFi from trending into the 20s. Obviously, I'm a realistical SoFi bull. SoFi someday will be at 45 bucks. It's not going to be this year. Sorry, hate to disappoint people. It's not. SoFi has a better chance of being at $30 to $35 at the end of the year if we get one rate cut, I believe. We get one rate cut, SoFi's valuation will go to its 5 times tangible book value. And yeah, I mean, we could be getting a $35 SoFi stock price by the end of this year. Well, do the math. If you were buying SoFi at $15, $16, $17, $18, $19, $20, $21, $22, $23, $24, I started buying SoFi again when it broke $25. You're at 35 bucks. It's a win-win chicken dinner, okay? You're a trader. I mean, hell, even taking a trade position here and ending the year, that's a pretty solid trade position, okay? There's a lot of upside for the stock. Now, I'm doing a public profile challenge on this YouTube channel, looking to take this sum of money here to 6 figs in the course of 17 months. The account challenge started 2 January of this year. Ended up taking a loss on Adobe, but still, I took a loss on friggin' Adobe, and I'm still up on this profile. Crazy, right? $2,000 loss of Adobe yesterday. I bought more Palantir yesterday, opened a new position of Coinbase. I actually bought another Coinbase share. And I also just got into exposure with crypto. I have not bought cryptocurrency since friggin' 2021. Yeah, I'm bullish on Ethereum. Crypto is in a downward cycle right now, so I'm definitely very, very bullish. So all in all, this profile, what is it, 16, 51, 52 and some change, I believe. Yeah, 52,000-ish. Very much on its way, in my opinion, to 60,000, especially when we get stocks like SoFi rock and rolling. AMD is going to continue to just very much outperform. Oh my gosh. AMD very much could be a double up by the end of this year, but understand that SoFi on this profile and also my private profile, it is a long position, okay? So I'm not going to be selling SoFi shares unlike AMD. I will be parting ways with. Same thing with Robinhood. When will that be? Not sure. I have a game plan, and if that game plan gets executed a lot sooner, well, there's going to be some win-win profit taking. But overall, I mean, you want to talk about choosing great companies to outperform the L's is everything. And I just I see so much upside for SoFi. It's a very it really it's all about when you bought this stock. If you bought this stock late last year at all-time highs, you're thinking SoFi is Satan. I bought this stock in the $7 range, the $6 range. I love this stock. Like it's a win-win chicken dinner in my book. Also, if you go back and look at my public profile back in November, this profile, so the only position I had on this profile, because my Webull account was primarily my trading account. The only position I had was actually SoFi that I actually ended up buying during Liberation Day last year. And my total cost on SoFi was only about $4,900, but I was up by over 120%. SoFi broke $25. I've been adding shares on this account. So I've increased my total cost from $4,900 to now $9,100, just shy of what AMD is. But I mean, yeah, that you do your due diligence, understand how to value stocks, and when a stock breaks certain levels, that is when you start adding positions. $25 was very much a break in SoFi 5-6 months ago, and that's when I started buying more SoFi shares. So I'm overly very happy. Otherwise, on a closing note, stay motivated. There's a lot of evil forces out there that definitely want you to sell your positions. I will see you all next Tuesday. Take it easy, and later.